Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your next hike in Utah, only one of the most popular destinations in all of the Wasatch Mountains. This weekend, we're hiking to Lake Blanche. If you're new here, welcome to my summer hiking series in Utah, where I strive to bring you your next hike every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Here we go. You're going to drive to Big Cottonwood Canyon. Once you enter the canyon, the trailhead is 4.3 miles up, right in the middle of one of this canyon's notorious S-turns. There are two small parking lots, one right at the apex of the S-turn, and a second one tucked away back in these trees. As always, you're going to want to start at sunrise. Not only is this to ensure you have a choice of where you park, as opposed to being forced to park a mile from the trailhead and on some narrow, sketchy part of the road, but the summers and sun in Utah are absolutely brutal, and I want you to have the best experience possible. This video was taken about 6:45 a.m. on a Saturday in July, and as you can see, the trailhead, which is a very small lot anyway, is already full and cars are lining the sides of the road. Personally, due to the location of this trailhead in the middle of an S-turn, I always choose to park on the side of the road facing the direction I will be leaving, just to make it a little bit easier when I return to my car and it's utter chaos in the canyon later in the day. You can find this trailhead on Google or Apple Maps under the Mill B South Trailhead or the Lake Blanche Trailhead. The official name is Mill B South, however, trails for Lake Blanche and Broads Fork leave from this trailhead. This area is a fee area, so if you do park in the lot, you will need to scan the QR code and pay $10 for a 3-day pass, unless you have an America the Beautiful pass. There are 2 flush toilets at the trailhead, although when I took this hike just a few days ago, there were also some porta potties. I'm not sure what's up with that, but either way, there are restrooms available at the trailhead. Starting off on this hike, it actually begins on a paved trail. Once you've hiked 0.25 miles up the path, you will see this sign and a very obvious right-hand turn. Take this trail to your right and begin the steep hike up. If you've been following along with this series and hiking the trails I've brought you in order, this hike will feel hard but not unmanageable. Just take it easy, adopt a slow and steady pace that you can maintain without losing your breath or needing to take a breather, and you will be fine. The trail stats for this hike are as follows. The total distance is 6.7 miles round trip. There is 2,726 feet of gain and 8,920 feet of maximum elevation. The first 2 miles of this trail are a mix of steep and not so steep parts. The trail becomes really steep and slow going the last mile. Remember, it's about 3.35 miles to make it to the lake. There are no other turns off this trail, so you don't need an app or a GPS route to take this hike. However, I always track my hikes, so I know how far I've gone, how far I have to go, and how my overall pace is doing. If you want to use the AllTrails app to help you navigate this hike, the name of this route on AllTrails is Lake Blanche Trail. Also, moose are frequently sighted along this trail at Lake Blanche and at Blanche's sister lakes, Florence and Lillian, which are only a few tenths of a mile beyond Lake Blanche. On this day, I did see a cow moose approximately 20 yards off the trail. She definitely saw me as well, and I made sure to keep my distance and move along once I could no longer see her. It took me about 2 hours to hike from the trailhead to the lake at a fairly leisurely pace, for myself anyway. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next Friday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time for our next hike. Next week, we will return to Big Cottonwood Canyon for another gorgeous hike, and this one will be packed with multiple stunning lakes, breathtaking 10,000-foot plus peaks, all in one approximately 8-mile loop. Enjoy your hike to Lake Blanche this weekend. It will definitely help prepare you for the next hike. If you can't make it to Utah to take this hike in person, you can find the full-length virtual hike from trailhead to the lake in my virtual hikes playlist, or click the link in the description. If you'd like to see a hyperlapse of this hike, which is the full-length version sped up and condensed into one short video, that link is below as well. Until next week, happy hiking.